already? We only have one item. Yes. Chairman, Business and Rules, come. Honorable colleagues, I've examined and approved the votes and procedures of Thursday, 15 July 2021. Honorable colleagues, we only have one item on the agenda. It's consideration of report, or one or two items. There's nothing else really that we're doing here. We are supposed to have gone on our vacation yesterday, but for the fact that we wanted to do things right and thoroughly. So we're back here this morning. We had decided last night, or we decided to invite INEC and NCC, but later on realized that it was better to insulate the umpire and not bring the umpire into the fray, and that the most important and critical question at this point in time, which seemed to be dividing the House and the public, was the issue of coverage, and that NCC will be in the best position to answer whether or not we had coverage sufficient to carry the issue of electronic transmission. This would help us make informed decision one way or the other on which way we want to go, particularly applying the principle that we've always applied, that every vote must count. I believe, I don't know if there's the leader of the House here, or the whip. Can we, I don't know if, is NCC here? Yes, they're here. Okay. Please, can we move that they be allowed in the chambers?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable members, may I move that in the light of yesterday's agreement that we suspend our relevant rules to allow for the admission of the NCC officials to brief this Honorable House. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move.
Thank you. Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Ndudi Godwin Elmelu, and I represent the good people of Anyocho Shimilifera constituency. I'm from Delta State. I rise to second the motion moved by the House Leader. I so second.
Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, say nay. Ayes have it. Can we please usher them into the chambers, please? Honorable colleagues, once again, you're welcome to the House. We have with us, from my understanding, the chairman, Professor Dambata, when he was contacted late yesterday, he was in Badagry, I believe Badagry it was, doing some training, but he has, from my understanding, he has been in touch with his technical team, directors, and they're here. I believe 3-4 of them who are fully in charge with the technical issues. So I believe, can we set the, I don't know who's going to be represented, who the people are, if you will introduce yourselves, and then we can set the podium for whoever is going to be addressing the issue. Clerk. Can the leader of the team step up and introduce who you have here and let us know who's going to be addressing the issue?
Good morning, Right Honorable Mr. Speaker. Thank you. Good morning, Right Honorable Mr. Speaker, leadership and members of the Federal House of Representatives. Good morning, sirs. My name is Adeleke Adewolu. I currently serve as the Executive Commissioner for Stakeholder Management at the Nigerian Communications Commission. When we received the summons of this Honorable House yesterday evening, our Executive Vice Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, Professor Umar Gamba Dambata, was unfortunately away from the office on official assignment at the Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, mandatory training for chief executive officers. He therefore called me very late in the night last night and said that we must arrange a representation before this Honorable House this morning. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I have come here this morning with the Executive Commissioner for Technical Services, Therefore, Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, I am here this morning with the Executive Commissioner for Technical Services. He is by name Engineer Ubale Maska. I also have with me the Director of Technical Standards and Network Integrity, Engineer Bako Wakil, and the Director of Public Affairs, Dr. Ikechukwu Adinde. And
okay, thank you. Who is, are you the one that will be addressing the issues, or who is the expert?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm not really sure. I understand that we were required to appear before this Honorable House as this Honorable House was debating the Electoral Amendment Bill. However, Mr. Speaker, I'm not sure what exact issues you would require us to address the House upon.
Okay, so whatever the issues are, whoever has the competence in your team will address as the issues come along. So we'll set the ball rolling. Clerk, because it's a very important matter, very, very important matter, I want you to put the director and everybody else on oath.
Hello, sir.
So
you repeat after me, please.
You repeat after him.
Repeat after me.
Oath.
Okay.
I, raise your hand, please.
Yep. I,
Say your name.
Adeleke Adewolu,
Do solemnly affirm
do solemnly affirm
that all the information I will give before the House
that all the information I will give before the House
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
You know what, we're going to have to take that again, because I realize that you might have different people answering different things. I don't know, since you don't know what the issues are. If we can have your team come, and then we'll take a simultaneous oath instead of one after the other.
Okay. All right.
Aye. Raise your hand and state your names respectively, please.
Okay, raise your hand. Okay.
Aye.
Adeleke Adewale Pascal.
Do solemnly affirm
Do solemnly affirm
that the information I shall present before the House
that the information I shall present before the House
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you. This is going to be very quick. I think the issues are very, very narrow. Very, very narrow. I'm sure we only have about 2-3 questions that will have us better informed on which way to go. Let me first of all clarify, you have the mandate and the authority of the Executive Vice Chairman to be here to answer the questions?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. So I think the chairman communication, is he here? Yes. I saw you raising your hand. Honorable Adeyemi, please go ahead. If you know what the issues are, if you have any question, and then we'll have 1 or 2 other members address other areas. But let's keep this to the, like I said, the issues are very narrow. I mean, we're not going on a voyage of an exploratory voyage. We don't want to hit the issues and move on.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name is Honorable Prince Hakeem Adeniyi Adeyemi. I represent the people of Afijo, Atiba, Oyo East and Oyo West. I'm from Oyo State. Mr. Speaker, distinguished honorable members, I'm here on behalf of Nigerians to put some questions straight to the NCC. Has there been any time that the NCC has undergone any analysis capturing the entire country vis-a-vis the captured area and the uncaptured area? Also, I want to put it to you, does the NCC has the technicality or the technical know-how to prevent hacking of election transmission electronically? Please, I want you to tell Nigerians, this will help the Honorable House and Nigerians to take a decision as regards this electronic transmission result in our annex budget. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, if I hear you correctly, you have 2 questions. One, is there any possibility of hacking? And second, has there been any time that the NCC has undergone an analysis
Yes, of the entire country.
of the entire coverage?
Because all vote count.
Okay,
No
no
Nigerian
problem.
should be disenfranchised, Mr. Speaker, sir.
I think we'll take those. We'll take. I think we'll only take 2 questions. We'll take Idem and we'll take Honorable Chinda. And that I'm sure that would, unless there's anything else. Go ahead. Please note the questions as they come.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Speaker, distinguished colleagues. My name is Idem Unyime, member representing Ukanafun, Orogonam Federal Constituency of Akwa Ibom State. Mr. Speaker, I rise this morning to put this question to NCC regarding the position of the House as at yesterday. The question is it possible to create a platform that allowed for offline uploading of results where there is no network, like in the case of offline SIM registration and some bank services, pending when the collation officers get to where they can access internet, then the entire data will drop successfully. Thank you very much.
Honorable Chinda. And the last will be Honorable Chawai. Honorable Chinda.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues. Kingsley Chinda, I represent Obiabo Federal Constituency. I'm from River State. Sir, I want to ask if NICOM SAT is still functional and under your ministry. If the answer is yes, whether this country has a satellite facility. If the answer is yes, whether that will be of any assistance in what we are considering. And then is there any part of this country that satellite cannot cover? Now, secondly, I will also want to find out the type of network that these local women in our communities use in transacting their monetary business, because you can find them everywhere. What type of communication do they use? Can that type of communication also be of assistance to us? Then thirdly, how long would it take you if we have problems in any part of this country? How long would it take you to fix it? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Chawai. That back row has been a problem since yesterday. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. My question is somewhat similar to the question that the Chairman Communications asked, but this time around, I want it broken down, either state by state or region by region. That's the network coverage. Thank you. Okay, I said my question is similar to what the Chairman Communication asked in terms of network coverage, but this time around broken down into either state by state or region by region. Thank you.
Thank you. So let's shoot. Who's taking the first question?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. From the questions asked, forgive me, honorable members, I'm not used to it. Mr. Speaker, sir, from the line of questioning, I feel that largely there are technical issues. So with Mr. Speaker's kind permission, I will hand over to the Executive Commissioner for Technical Services, Engineer Obade Maska, to deal with the majority of these questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, honorable members, good morning. I must confess I didn't catch portions of the question, so what I will crave your indulgence is to permit me answer those I've heard correctly, and then you will kindly remind me of any that I may have missed out, please. The first refers to whether the Commission has done any analysis on network coverage nationwide in respect of either captured or uncaptured, which I take to mean probably served or unserved areas. And then the second member followed up that with requiring to know if this can be broken down into states. I must say here that yes, we have this data. We have it nationwide, we have it on state basis, and we have it even on the basis of services, whether it is 2G, 3G, 4G, that's LTE. We have all this analysis. The second question refers to the possibility of hacking. Yes.
Before you go to that,
Yes.
I believe the question the Chairman Communications asked was that if you have the analysis, and I think the follow-up question, with that, not to waste time, is that can you tell us about your analysis and what the coverage is?
All right, sir. He asked if we have it, so I just said yes. Sorry, Mr. Speaker. We did an analysis of network coverage, and I like to venture here to say probably what the question wanted to know was probably in respect of if we did anything maybe preparatory to the elections. We did in 2018 conduct network coverage studies in respect of all polling units in the country. We found out we had about 119,000 polling units, about 119. We were able to get the coordinates of about 109,000, and we plotted this across the map of the country, and we superimposed on it the network coverage we had, service-wise. We plotted 2G coverage, 3G coverage, and LTE coverage. And we were able to see that about half of the polling units were covered with 2G/3G services. That is both 2G and 3G services. Roughly about 50.3% of those. Then about 49.7% did not have any coverage at all, or had only 2G. All right. Yeah.
Okay, before we move on to the next question, let me be clear.
Yes, sir.
Let me be clear. You conducted an analysis of coverage nationwide in 2018.
Yes, sir.
And from your analysis, we had about 119,000 polling units.
Yes, sir.
And out of the 119, you said 49 point something. Let's just round it up to 50%.
Okay.
Had coverage, and 50% did not have coverage. Is that your testimony?
50% had 3G coverage and 2G together. About 49 point something percent had only 2G, and about 8,000 polling units had none at all.
Okay.
About 8,000 polling units.
Okay,
had
this
none at all.
for some of us that are not technologically savvy, what we're trying to find out is for the purpose of transmission of votes. When you say 2G, when you say 3G, is 2G, can this exercise be done by 2G?
Thank you, Chairman, sir. I wish INEC were here to actually take this question, because I will be venturing out to say things perhaps that are not really under the mandate of NCC. From a personal standpoint, from what I could tell of what is required, it's only 3G that could give that kind of cover. That could give that kind of transmission.
Okay.
In full,
Okay, so
yes,
only 3G can adequately transmit.
Yes, sir.
Only 3G.
Yes, sir.
So, but if you combine 3G and 2G, the combination of 3G and 2G gave you 50%.
Yes, sir.
So if it's only 3G, it may be lower than that. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Well, the 3G, the polling units that fell under 3G coverage, let's just say the stations that had 3G coverage came to about 50%.
Okay, 50%.
Yes.
All right.
On the 2G, there were others that also had 2G, but they had only 2G, no 3G coverage at all.
Okay. Now I can hear somebody saying, what about 4G?
Yeah.
It's only where you have 3G only.
Yes, sir.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
So it basically comes to the same thing.
It comes to something. Yes,
it's
sir.
saying that 4G is only available where you have 3G, and you have 3G only in 50%. So
Yes,
it's saying the same thing. So we'll move on to the Next question. The next question was to do with hacking. That's what he said.
The question is whether it is possible to hack this. I'm sure it's open knowledge to all here that there is no system that is safe from hacking. You can do your best to secure it, but no system is 100% hack-free. I'm sure members will have read about the elections in US in 2016, and there is widespread belief that that election was hacked by the Russians. Every day you read about hackers breaking into banks, insurance companies, travel industry, and all sorts of industries. So hacking is a possibility always, sir.
Okay, all right, thank you. I think the question, next question came, do you remember? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, there is the third question refers to data that is captured offline in an unserved area, moved to a served area to upload. Yes, this is possible. It's possible that an area that is not covered, you could record it and then physically move to some other location, but you can't guarantee this kind of movement. It doesn't compare with direct transmission.
It doesn't what?
It doesn't compare with direct transmission from the site, from the source.
It doesn't compare with direct transmission.
From the source.
If you have to move somewhere.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You still wanted to be clear. Next question.
Just about which comes out.
This comes out. Also, the niche CAPSAT services, I don't really know. It's certainly an operator within the country. I haven't seen anyone that uses it. I can't comment about that. I will strongly recommend that maybe this CAPSAT gets invited to state their case here. There is the issue of the network used by market women who seem to operate everywhere. I assure you, I don't know if by this, the questioner is referring to the use of POS or...
The use of what? POS?
Is
that what you said? Okay, POS.
Is that the reference? Because if it's POS carries a SIM. You cannot operate a POS where you don't have network. It's not possible. Yes, sir. Sorry, the same? Which two?
I think
if you are to use POS, you have to insert a SIM, and that SIM cannot work where there is no network. It cannot work where there is no network.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just address, I think there's a question.
And then the last question I have here is, if we have a problem in any part of the country, how long does it take to fix it? I think this will depend on the problem, obviously. There are all sorts of issues that can arise.
Wait.
Night concert. Yes, what about night concert?
I didn't get your answer on how long it takes to fix if there's a problem.
It depends on the problem, sir, because I mean, if it's vendors, for instance, getting a fiber, first you have to locate where it is, and in some instances you have to even arrange for security because it can be. Oh, sorry. It will depend on what the problem is. The most common here, for instance, is like people cut fibers either by mistake or out of sheer vandalism, and I think the length of time depends on where the cut takes place. the accessibility of that place and the safety of the engineers that will go out to fix it. So a network outage can be fixed from anything from an hour up to a couple of days, depending on the problem. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Thank you. We'll take the final question from the minority leader. Yeah. When you answer the minority leaders, the last question, you add the issue of night comsat, which was not answered.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My name remains Honorable Ndodi Godwin Elmelu, and I represent the good people of Anyocho Shimilifera constituency. I'm from Delta State. I have two questions for you.
Yes, sir.
The first question is, I've watched you the way you have been answering your question. Are you usually like this? That you answer with
Honorable Elmelu, come on.
okay.
If you have a question to the issue.
I wanted to ask whether is it a stage fright or
I didn't notice any such thing.
okay. Number two, the second one, I'm going to read it out, and what you will do is to say whether it is correct or not.
Okay.
The Nigerian Communications Act, NCA number 19 of 2003, Part 4, established the Universal Service Provision, under which the Universal Service Provision Fund, USPF, was established to facilitate the achievement of national policy goals for universal access and universal service to information and communication technologies, which is called ICTS, in rural and unserved and underserved areas in Nigeria. Now, the fund is being managed to facilitate the widest possible access to affordable telecommunication services for greater social equity and inclusive for the people of Nigeria. Now, the issue is the USPF receives 2.5% of the part of the telecommunication service providers, and one of the core roles of the principles of USPF is to provide co-location and infrastructure sharing services in unserved or underserved areas of the country, which shall be obligatory for operators and service providers to share and provide telecom service for the area the infrastructure is displayed. Is this a true position?
It is true, sir, that USPF is for unserved areas, underserved areas.
No, we're not asking.
You are right, sir.
Okay. Okay, minority leader, is that it? He has answered your question. Can you please answer the question of night comsat, and then we'll move on, please. Night comsat.
The night comsat issue, please, it's best you invite night comsat for that, please.
Order, please. Order, please. Honorable Sanchez Ogu, resume your seat. Honorable Uji Kingsley, resume your seat. Honorable Chinda, resume your seat.
Go ahead and answer your question. Whoever cares to listen can listen. Answer the question on night comsat.
Night comsat. Sir, I can't speak for night comsat. I am not familiar with all the services they offer. I will suggest that maybe the House invites night comsat here, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Please, thank you for all the information. I believe members are now equipped, at least better than they were yesterday, to make informed decisions. You can leave. You can take your leave. Thank you very much. Honorable colleagues, we will go back to the committee of the whole to continue with the exercise on the Electoral Act. We will take all the clauses. We will take all the clauses. Honorable colleagues, we will go back to the committee of the whole to finish our exercise. We will take all the clauses, and then we'll come back. Now that we're to some extent better informed, we'll come back to section 52 and take that again. We'll take all the clauses first and then come back to that. Is there, Abi? Aids and loans. Yes, we'll take the aids and loan. We'll take the issue of aids and loans first and then go back to electoral amendment. Leader of the House. Leader, revert to committee of the whole.
Thank you. Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, Alassane Ado Dogwa is my name. Mr. Speaker, I represent the good people of Tudunwada Dogwa Federal Constituency. Honorable members, I am from Kano State.
Whip.
May I move as directed by the Speaker in the chair that this House do resolve to the Committee of the Whole to consider report before us. Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move.
Thank you. Whip.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, my name is Mohamed Tahir Muno.
Oh, actually, we're going to Committee of Supply first because of the aids and loans matter. We'll go to Committee of Supply first before we go to Committee of the Whole. Second.
Sorry.
Silence, please. Silence, please. Honorable Magbila. Honorable Magbila, take your seat. Honorable Francis. Honorable Francis. Honorable Francis. Honorable Magbila, take your seats. Honorable Innaji Unoli. Honorable Unoli. Honorable Unoli. Usman Zana, take your seat. Honorable Unoli, take your seat. Honorable Kadiri Rahis, take your seat. Honorable Ajeje, take your seat. Honorable Magbila, go back to your seat. Honorable Abbas, take your seat. Honorable Abbas, take your seat.
The report was late.
Yesterday.
Okay. I think everything both has
That we did. Honorable Magbila, I've been shouting your name to take your seat. Honorable Magbila, I've been shouting your name to take your seat. Chairman House Service, take your seat. Honorable Sarkin Noma, take your seat. Honorable Magbila, I've been shouting your name to take your seat.
Hafiz, Kakowato.
Honorable colleagues, we go straight to the report of the Committee on AIDS, Loans and Debt Management on the 2018 to 2020 External Borrowing Rolling Plan. Recommendation 1. Recommendation 1. Recommendation 1. Recommendation 2. Leader. Committee of Whole, have you? Leader. Revert to plenary. And then
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that the House do revert to plenary to report progress. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move.
Honorable colleagues of the Committee of Supply, the House considered the report of the Committee on AIDS, Loans and Debt Management on the proposed 2018-2020 External Borrowing Plan and approved recommendations 1 and 2 of the report accordingly.
Order, please.
Leader, please move for adoption of the report, Committee of Supply. Adoption of the report.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, may I move that the report of the Committee of Supply be adopted. Mr. Speaker, I so move.
Chairman Appropriation, Honorable Betara, please second.
Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Mukhtar Betara Liu. I rise to second the motion moved by the House Leader. I so move, sir.
Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it. Leader, Committee of the Whole.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, my respected colleagues, members of the House of the Nigerian people. I rise to move that this House resolves to Committee of the Whole to consider reports before us. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move.
Minority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Honorable Ndodi Godwin Elmelu, and I represent the good people of Anocho Shimlifera constituency. I'm from Delta State. I rise to second the motion moved by the House Leader that will result to the Committee of the Whole to consider the electoral bill. I so second.
Those in favor, please say aye. Those against, say nay. Ayes have it. House reverts to Committee of the Whole.
Can you give me the summary of what we did yesterday? What about the copy of what we did? No, this is supposed to be available. Away? 54 well, not now. 60 what? 60 what? 54. Respected colleagues, console, please take your seat. Respected colleagues, we are resuming consideration, and we stopped yesterday at 54. 54. No. Well, you did not, but we did. Thank you. 55. 55. 55. 56. 56.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
57.
Point of order. Point of order.
What's the point of order?
Mr. Mr. Chairman,
continue to run the thing alone.
honorable colleagues, please, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, I remember my name is Toby Okechukwu. I represent an area of Wajibra Federal Constituency from Enugu State. Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, in the committee of the whole yesterday, we are doing considerations, and when we came to 52, the chairman made some rulings which made some members call for division. Apparently, we couldn't get to that point, and then there wasn't even a ruling or a decision or a vote. Just a moment, sir. You can have your day. There wasn't a decision regarding what we were discussing and voting on were the amendments. We had not even gone to what the clause says in the recommendation. But more importantly, the point of fighting INEC and NCC was for a more enlightened understanding by members, based on which the House will come to a decision on that. I wouldn't think that it will do us any favor or we gain any advantage if we begin to presume that we have voted on 52. I think it is proper to do things right. We were only voting on the amendments, and the amendments were regarding electronic transmission and then manual and electronic transmission. The recommendation from the committee was that INEC should apply their discretion in the use of any method. If we are saying that we've resolved on that, we would require some enlightenment from the chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Deputy Minority Leader. Maybe I want to recall to you, I don't know who moved a motion yesterday on the floor asking for division. There wasn't any motion taken like that. There wasn't. There wasn't. I said there wasn't any motion on that, and I insist there wasn't any motion like that. No. Please. You see, if he has nobody, and you can go and take the clip again. I say nobody moved a motion on the floor here yesterday for division. So you are trying to mislead the House, and don't mislead the House. You are a leader.
No.
I beg of you,
Mr. Chairman.
No, you are trying to mislead the House. No, please control yourself. Control yourself. I say control yourself. There wasn't a motion. I said there wasn't a motion, and I insist there wasn't a motion for division. 2. Well, I don't
want you to repeat it again because that was the position. He is saying that, Boma, I want you to be guided. We have our rules here. You do not have that. I'm guiding you. Thank you. Well, I want to. I am not saying I'm not about the division. If the point reaches for that.
Point of order. You call somebody madman? Point of order. Chairman.
Hey, my friend, you yourself, you don't get power to fight. Hey, 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 No, go to no. Or you want to come and sit on us? Come and sit, come and sit. No. Is that the best thing? Is that the best thing? Let's let it that the best thing. We can all come in here. Let him down from here. It's not the best. No. Hey! It's okay now. It's okay now. You will kill him. You won't kill him. You don't do. It's okay. Let him sit down. You will kill him. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. No, leave him. It's okay now. Everybody say it's okay. No problem.
ai sauran su yarabawa sun dawo ai shi ma speaker ya dawo shi ne ya jawo a yi hakuri. Ya ma brother lafiya ai ni da na so tunda Allah ya sa je ka gaya mishi na gaya masa a koma
Let's take our seats, please. Let's sit down. Sit down. Honorable members, sit down.
Please take your seat. Please. Honorable members, take your seat. Honorable members, take your seat. Honorable members, resume your seats, please. Resume your seats, please. Please, honorable members, resume your seats. Honorable member, please resume your seats. Honorable Koko, please come and resume your seats. Honorable Chinyere Eguye, please resume your seats. Honorable Zakaria, resume your seat. Honorable Boma, resume your seat. Resume your seat. Sit down, Honorable Boma. Dr. Ajajire, go and resume your seat. Deputy Minority Whip, resume your seat.
Order, please. Honorable Koko. Honorable Koko. Chinyere. Honorable Babangida. Chinyere. Sit down, please. Sit down.
Give me the motion, please.
Honorable Saidu, sit down, please. Sit down.
Faleke, sit down.
Honorable Faleke, sit down. Faleke, sit down, please.
Respected colleagues, thank you. I so much appreciate. That's the beauty of democracy. And maybe to conclude my statement, you recall yesterday there are other clauses that we have kept to ourselves that will, after the constitution, go back to those clauses to look at them again. This particular clause is not an exception. And I would still want to put it, that go and read our votes and proceedings of today. This particular question was put, and that was why we had it reported at the Committee of the Whole. I want to beg of us that making us rank cross a house is not the solution, and that's not the best democratic practice. I will beg that for whatever position is better, we do it in the decorous and in the manner prescribed in our standing orders, so that we'll be able to make progress. What do you say? Well, when we get back to the vote to that one, you can move, when you receive the decision, you can move your motion for division, if that's what you want.
Mr. Chairman, sir.
Thank you. And you can only have that one when the question again is put and there is no clear voice answer. Thank you very much. That is the truth. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, okay.
57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 61, 62, 62, 62. Thank you. That's very good cooperation. 3.
Observation,
63. Amendment?
63 amendments, sir.
Megari? Carried? 3. 63. 63. Thank you. Well, Ataka, you are a leader. You are a leader. allow me to put the question. Thank you. 75. 76. 77. 78. 79. 79.
Your seat.
80.
Honorable Linda, take your seat. Honorable Linda, take your seat.
81. 82. 83. 84. 85.
Amendment.
I'm in 86 now.
Section 87. Mr. Chairman. Section 87.
No, I'm on 86 now, sir. 86.
Okay, 86.
Yes.
Okay, 87 after
Thank
you get to 87.
86. Amendment.
Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues, I will seek an amendment to Section 87. An amendment to Section 87.
Honorable Linda, take your seat.
Section 87, honorable colleagues. Section 87. Section 87 provides for indirect or direct primaries. Either indirect or direct primaries. In the true ethos of democracy, Mr. Chairman, I would like to amend Section 87 to make direct primaries and delete the word indirect and make direct primaries mandatory.
Second.
Thank you. Right, Honorable Speaker, I Chairman, my respected colleagues, I rise to move, I rise to second,
Thank you.
indubitably second, without any skepticism,
Please,
without any contemplation, second the amendment ably moved by Right Honorable Femi Bajabiamila, representing Surulere from Lagos State. I so move.
Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it.
Amendment.
Yes.
Yes. Amendment. This man.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
I'd like to amend Section 87, 8A. It's on page 103. Mr. Chairman, the essence is to try to make sure that we reduce the money spent in elections. We need to reduce it so that we can open up space for more people to enter. For Section 87, 8A provides for 5 delegates instead of 3. There's no point increasing people. The more you increase the delegates that amend it to 3 instead of 5. That is section 8A. Then I'd like to delete.
Well, Honorable Linda, the amendment has been taken care of by what the Speaker have done. It has passed. It has passed. Yes. That is what it has passed. That's what has passed. This amendment has passed, so it has taken care of what you want to do. We are deleting that portion. So 87 has amended.
No, Mr. Chairman.
88, 89.
Please. Honorable Leader, be guided, please.
Where are you going? '88, '89. Is that where we are? '89. '89. 90. 91. 92. 92, 93, 94, 94, 95, 95, 96, 96, 97, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106.
Observation.
107. 108.
106, sir. 106. 106.
Yes, sir.
106, sir. 106. Sir, 106. 106.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman.
I will beg of you, you make a case, but it will fall under the same category because question has been put and gavel.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, on off your Luke, 18 and 3, Bomsurubium, Federal Constituency. Mr. Chairman, it's just for us to delete it's just for us to delete in 106 the number 30 in subclause C of 106 and then replace it with number 25. And the reason being that if the minimum qualification for a member of the House of Representatives is 25, then the chairmanship of a local government should not be higher than 25. And so it should be 30. It does. So that is just my proposal.
I think what the leader is trying to call your attention to is that we pass a bill here, constitutional amendment, not too young to run. What they are trying to amend, does it go in line with that provision of the bill that has been passed? So we don't do things that will go in conflict.
And Mr. Chairman, sir, you spoke about the leader. You spoke about the leader making a comment on that. I think we would love to hear the leader loud and clear on that.
No, he's just trying to guide us
And
by
so
referring us to
guidance,
not too young to build bill that we passed in the last assembly here.
Yes, sir.
So that what you are asking us to do does not go in conflict with that provision.
Yes, sir. And so, sir, let's redirect.
I will beg you that you go through the provisions first, so that it will be among those when we come back to consider. Thank you.
By your following, sir. By your direction, sir.
Thank you. $108, $109, 109. 110. 1 not yet there. 113. 13.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, I'm Hassan Usman Sukotowo by name. I'm proposing this amendment, this 113, sub 1, that since the constitutional amendment, we are proposing that the INEC normally conducts elections of area councils. So I'm proposing that let the tenure be in tandem with. Let the tenure, instead of 3 years, let it read 4 years so that it will be in tandem with what the constitutional amendment we are.
Seconder. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Representative Gideon Goroki. My name's member representing Guif Shalom, the constituency in Adamawa State. I rise to second the amendment moved by my colleague. I saw second.
Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Those in favor of the clause as amended say aye. Against nay.
Your Excellency.
I don't know. Those in favor of the amendment say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. 114. 114. 115. 115. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, it's just a minor reference. My name is Benjamin Okezekal. I represent the people of Nigeria, starting from Ben, the federal constituency. I'm from Abia State. Mr. Chairman, on page 187, 115B, sub 1.
181.
187, sir. In subsection 1, the reference section there are 114 and 115. Not 110 and 111. What is written there is 110 and 111, but if you cross-check well, it ought to be 114 and 115.
Okay.
And Mr. Chairman, maybe I will submit my list because of the noise I didn't hear when you passed some of them. We have these references, the errors in some of the ones that we passed. Maybe I'll submit it to you.
I think this was the same issue raised yesterday by Luke. Thank you. So it's an amendment you are putting across. Observation?
Yeah, it's a correction.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a correction.
Great too.
Yes.
Yes. Honorable Duku.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. His observation has already been carried. That's this paper that has been circulated. His Honorable Kalu's observation is already carried in the corrigendum. Thank you.
Thank you. One 117, 118, 119, 120, 120, 121, 121, 122, 122, 123, 123, 124, 124,
Abonta, Honorable Linda, Honorable Abonta, resume your seat. Honorable Nkole, resume your seat, please. Honorable Linda, resume your seat. Honorable Abonta, resume your seat.
125, 125, 126, 126, 127, 127, 128, 128, 129, 129.
Honorable Boma, resume your seat.
One 130, 140, 131, 131, 132, 132, 133, 134, 134, 135, 135, 136, 136. One 137, 138, 138, 139, 139, 140, 140. 141, 141, 142, 142, 143, 143. 144, 145, 146.
Linda, I don't want to be consistently mentioning your name. Please resume your seat.
147, 148.
Honorable Abonta
149.
too. Honorable Abonta, please, I don't want to consistently mention your name. Resume your seat.
160.
Honorable Nkoli.
151, 152.
That one is important.
153, 154, 157, 157, 158,
Honorable Oluga. Honorable Oluga, resume your seat.
Two. Where are we now? Citation page what? It's 250 what? 248. But there's long title. You need to amend the long title. 157. 158. Long title. Leader. The amendment.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Are we going to review the section 50, clause 52?
I did mention here, leader, I did mention that this and any other clause that members may wish to revisit. I did mention that. We will revert to that.
No, Mr. Chairman, is different from clause 52 is totally different from other clauses where people wanted to make an amendment. The reason why I'm saying this is that members have been trying to say that that clause that was carried was inappropriate and that it was never carried.
Well,
and we cannot sit.
Let me beg of you, sir.
We cannot sit on this floor.
Let me beg of you, sir.
And allow that inappropriate action to be taken.
Please,
so I'm
sir.
calling on my colleagues that if that is the case, that they have carried it and waiting for us to do a rescission, because it was never carried. So the issue of rescission
No, sir.
will not even arise.
Voice.
I will advise that we leave the chamber. We are not part of it.
Well, if I say you are not part of it, it's a different entirely. You are entitled to our opinion, and that's the meaning of democracy. Thank you very much. We are grateful. Leader, don't title. No. Amendment.
Point of order.
Already. What is the point of order, sir?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Chairman. Leader. Mr. Chairman. Leader, order now. And that's when they current order 9 is out of order. Is out of order to attempt to reconsider any specific issue upon which the House has come to Kwana ba mu sa muna so an bi da yayi sallah sai mu
Let's go now. To zan dauka bai yadda ba. Zan dauka bai yadda.
Yes, leader, move your amendment.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I rise to move that in the light of the briefing we have received today, which of course will lead to our decision on Section 52 of this very important electoral act, I would like to move that the long title be reviewed to delete any technological device or electronic device, because of the briefing we have received from the officials of NCC clearly states that this country as a nation cannot go for something that will not be effective. And on that note, I so move that through the use of any technological and electronic devices in the long title be deleted. I so move.
Yes, whip of the House.
Honorable Chairman, honorable members.
Okay, carry that.
Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman,
yes.
Amendment stops at card reader.
Thank you.
Electronic and technological devices
Yes.
be deleted.
Thank you.
Honorable Chairman, honorable members, my name is Mohamed Tahir Monguno. I represent Marte Monguno, Ganze Federal Constituency of Borno State. I hereby second the motion ably moved by the leader of the House. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Long title as amended. Thank you. Huh?
Report.
Well, colleagues, to keep to our promises, I still want to, even though we are past it, whether there is somebody who wants to raise a decision on 52, clause 52. Anybody want to move for decision for the consideration? 52 as carried. Fulata. Yes. To me now.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members,
It's part of it now. That by our rules, our rules says once there is a conference, they already confirmed it there. What are we doing? No, they go back. It has already been confirmed there. They can't go back. That is the rule, please. You are a leader. Please. 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 No, we have to revert to plenary if that's the way you put it. We have to revert to plenary. Colleagues, we will revert to plenary for you to present. Leader, move. Leader, move that we revert to plenary to report progress.
Honorable Chairman, I move that the House revert to plenary to report progress.
Thank you.
I second.
Colleagues, colleagues, leader, take your seat, please. The House and the Committee of the Whole consider the report of the Committee on Electoral Matters on the bill for an act to repeal the Electoral Act number 2010 and enact the Electoral Act 2021 to regulate the conduct of elections in the federal, state, and area councils in the Federal Capital Territory and related matters, and approve clauses 15, 1, 5, approve the resumption of the consideration of the clauses 1, 55, 86, 87 as amended, 88, 112, 113 as amended, 114 to 158, and the long title as amended. Leader, move for the adoption of the.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Honorable members, Ado Dogwa is my name. Mr. Speaker, I represent the good people of Tudunwada, Dogwa Federal Constituency. Honorable members, I am from Kano State. May I move that this House do adopt the report of the Committee of the Whole as reported by the Speaker in the chair. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, my name is Honorable Herman Hembe. I represent Shabanika Federal Constituency. I'm from Benue State.
I want to take the report.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion that this report be adopted as ably moved by the leader. I so second.
Respected colleagues, those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. Speaker, I suppose, shall I continue? Yes. Okay. The next order of the day is presentation report on the PIB Conference Committee. Gunu is invited to lay the report.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, my name is Mohamed Tahir Monguno. I represent Marte Monguno, Geze Federal Constituency. I hereby move that the House do receive the report of the Conference Committee on a bill for an act to provide legal governance, regulatory and fiscal framework for the Nigerian petroleum industry, the development of host communities and for related matters. I so move.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, before he lays, I would like to lay the background for this laying of the PIB so that we will all be on the same page and understand what has happened. So that this house will not be accused of doing anything outside our rules. Yesterday, there was an issue of PIB. And in the wisdom of the leadership, I suspended the laying of the report. Asked the chairman to go back and meet the Senate committee and let them go and review the position. Unfortunately, by the time they got to the Senate committee, the Senate had already made a decision. They laid the report, adopted it, and they become what we call functus officio. There's nothing else to convert. There's nothing else we could have done. Well, the rule says, our House rules now says that's what we have to look at. When they have agreed, which they had, they laid the report. There's nobody to talk to anymore. They've already voted in the Senate. We have to come back and lay our own report. And then the House will determine whether we are adopting or we're agreeing to that report. Otherwise, the PIB is hanging inordinately. This PIB will not suffer the same fate it has been suffering for the past 20 years. If there's any need in future, we can amend whatever there is to amend in future. But for now, it has been passed by the Senate. We have rules to follow. And it is those rules that we are following now. It is unfortunate that our colleagues, my brothers are not here, so we could explain this thing properly to them. But the event that they're not here, we have to continue the business of the people. Thank you.
Yes, Leader of the House.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you, my respected colleagues, members of the United House of Representatives of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, I rise to adopt in total, in its entirety, the explanations offered by Right Honorable Femi Bajabiamila in respect of the position of our conference report of the House and the Senate. I therefore second that same be taken and carried and adopted at the same time.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. The ayes have it. No substantive rules for us to dissolve into committee of the whole to consider the report.
Jekele, did you move for lane? Okay, lane.
Leader, move for your motion.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I thank you, my respected colleagues. Once again, Alassane Ado Dogwa is my name, member representing Dogwa Tudunwada Federal Constituency. I am from Kano State. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I rise to move that this respected and honorable House do resolve to Committee of the Whole to consider report on the PIB. to continue consideration of the report on PIB. I so move.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and my dear colleagues. I am Comrade Peter Ohiozide, Deputy Leader of the House. I support the motion as moved by the Leader of the House. I so support, Mr. Speaker.
In favor of the motion, say aye. Against, say nay. That's having. That's the House hereby resolved into committee hall to consider the report. Respected colleagues, the report to be considered. Okay. I thought you allowed me to introduce the matter before
Mr. Speaker, I am Kiruka Onye George. I represent the good people of Sukwatu Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Abia State.
Chairman.
Southeast Nigeria.
No, Mr. Chairman, no Speaker.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, honorable colleagues. I thank you for giving me this opportunity this afternoon. Mr. Speaker, I know that the majority
Chairman, I still repeat, Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I know that the majority will have their way. Minority will continue to have their say. Mr. Speaker, I'm standing here this afternoon to make this point. Not because Nigeria will not move forward, but because as Parliament,
open the space for.
If you look at your back, we have nation building a joint task. And what it simply means, that this Green Chamber is the only institution I know that unites Nigeria. That is the place that all of us agree that we are brothers and sisters, irrespective of political divide, ethnic divide. And yes,
that's what we'll take them.
Honorable colleagues, please, I have the floor. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, yesterday when we walked in, there was contention on the issue of PIB.
Yes, sir.
And
it's only when you come here you just adopt it.
The leadership, with the able leadership of Mr. Speaker, advised that the chairman of PIB should go back to Senate and let them revisit the issue of PIB on 5% for host community, which was agreed by the Parliament, by 360 of us. And when they came back, they came with the submission for 3%. And it was stepped down that they should go back to Senate. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I believe that from yesterday to this morning, that because we left here late, that my chief whip wouldn't have done enough work to do consultation on that particular, let me finish. No, I'm saying, because we left here yesterday evening. So Mr. Speaker, I am saying that it should have been better that we stand by that submission of Mr. Speaker to revisit.
Please, I beg of you to take a seat. Please take a seat. No, before your point of order, I want to say we are guided by our rules. And the Speaker have aptly captured. It is in the wisdom of the Speaker to try to bring peace that he now asks for this to step down. But otherwise, by our rules, it wasn't supposed to be so. Please, sir. Please, I want to beg of us. Please. At least all efforts have been made so that we'll be able to resolve the matter. And what I expect you as a leader, that please, rules are meant for us to be obeyed. If efforts are made democratically to resolve the matter and we are unable to do that, it is not now our own purview. We don't argue, we only adopt. Those, I want to say, we should move for adoption. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. One. That is the one on the 9. Yes, sir. 64, 79, 94, 4, 5, 160, 200, 310, 315. Thank you. Leader, 317. 318. Thank you. Move that will revert to plan to report progress.
And thank you, Right Honorable Chairman. I move once again to ask that the House to revert to plenary and report progress of the committee of the whole. I therefore move, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Yes, Deputy Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I remain Comrade Peter Hyonzija Patterson, representing Akoko Edo people. I support the motion that we do revert back to plenary to report progress. I so second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's it. Respected colleagues, the House in the Committee of the Whole considered a report on the Conference Committee on the Bill for an Act to provide for legal governance, regulatory and fiscal framework for the Nigerian petroleum industry, the development of the communities and political matters. Approved clauses 9, 29, 32, 33, 40, 41, 47, 48, 52, 64, 79, 86, 97, 104, 125, 160, 240, 310, 315, 317, 318, and the first schedule of the conference report. Leader, move for the adoption of the report.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you, our patient colleagues, members of this great chamber. I move that the House do adopt the report of the Committee of the Whole as reported by the Speaker in chair. Mr. Speaker, honorable members, I so move.
Deputy Leader.
Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I'm Peter Hyonzija Patterson, representing Akoko Edo Federal Constituency. I support the motion that the House do ably adopt the report of the Committee of the Whole. So,
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Chairman rules move for the suspension of our rules to allow us to read have the third reading of the two bills that we have just passed, the Electoral Act and the PIB bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Abubakar Samfulata. I represent Borneo Krika, Samaguri Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker, from the Gulf State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that we suspend our excellent rules to enable us to take a third reading of the two bills so far considered. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder, yes, Honorable Buba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yusuf Buba Yakub. I represent Gombe Home Federal Constituency from Adamawa State. I rise to second the motion moved by the Chair, Business and Rules. I so second.
Seconder, yes.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I seconded the motion, sorry. I'm sorry. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Leader is invited to read the long titles of the two bills. No, invited to read
Mr. Speaker,
leader first.
right honorable colleagues, Alhassan Ado Dogwa is the name once again. I represent the good
Constitution
people
for 13.
of Dogwa Tudunwada Federal Constituency. My distinguished colleagues, I am by your leave and the grace of God today the leader of the proud Ninth House of Representatives. May I move that this House do carry simultaneously the third reading of the two bills we have considered in the Committee of the Whole, the PIB, and of course the conference report that was submitted here in the interest, not only interest, in the overall interest of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Thank you.
And the Electoral Act, as read in the committee, as taken in the Committee of the Whole, the PIB, as taken in the Committee of the Whole, and of course, the conference committee that was laid and presented here and carried in the Committee of the Whole in the overall interest of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Is the long title down what we're after? Thank you. Yes, Megari.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Kasim Bello Maigari are my names. I speak for the entire people of Jalingo, Euros in Federal Constituency. I'm from Tababa State, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the motion heavily moved by the leader of this House. I so second.
Well, those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Against say nay. That's a bit. There has been conflict as to whether we should read the third reading of the Electoral Act because it was taken before and it is just a conference report that we have adopted. I think we can skip that one and allow the clerk to read for the third time, the long title of the Electoral Act. Yes, sir. But for the avoidance of that, I think you should do that for clarity. Whatever it is. It's the humblest position. Thank you. Humblest.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, a bill for an act to repeal the Electoral Act number 6, 2010 and enact the Electoral Act 2021 to regulate the conduct of election in the federal, state, and area councils in the Federal Capital Territory and for related matters. Third reading.
Bill read the third time and pass. Yes, sir.
A bill for an act to provide legal governance, regulatory, and fiscal framework for the Nigerian petroleum industry, the development of host communities, and for related matters. Third reading.
Bill read the third time and pass. Yes. Leader, we move for the suspension of our rules to allow us to adopt the votes and proceedings of today.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues. I am Abubakar Hassan Fulata. I represent Berniwa, Krikasama, Guri, Federal Constituency, Mr. Speaker, I'm from Jigawa State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that the House would suspend our relevant rules to adopt the votes and proceedings of today. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Seconder, Honorable Falaki.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleague, my name is James Abiodun Faleke. I rise to second the suspension of our rules as moved by the Chairman, Rules and Business. So second.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Leader, move for the adoption of the votes and proceedings of today.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. I move that the report of the committee, the votes and proceedings of today be adopted, please. Thank you.
It's a function of the leadership. Sorry, I would have wished to give you, but the deputy leader is there. That is his function.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to second the motion for the adoption of the votes and proceeding of today as simply moved by the leader of the House. I so second, Mr. Speaker.
Those in favor of the motion say aye. Against say nay. That's have it. Mr. Speaker, sir, I think it's good to take the chair to say thank you to these patriotic members who have been here since morning, who put aside their very good, important job to come and do this very important assignment, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, honorable colleagues. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. Honorable colleagues, let me once again use this opportunity to thank you all for taking time out on Friday when we should have been well on our way on our summer recess to come and do what is important to us and to the Nigerian people. Let me quickly say that we have passed the electoral amendment. We have the controversial section 52. For clarity, we have left it as provided by the committee as it came, which is to allow INEC to determine whatever they want to do. But I believe that we've all been better informed by NCC that came and answered very critical questions. And I use this opportunity to talk to the people out there as well. We all want electronic transmission. Clearly, we all want electronic transmission. But based on the information that we have just received from the experts, it's not as easy as it sounds. We must get our electoral process right, and that's what we seek to do. When the time has come, when they've had when they have full coverage, we can come back here and amend the law. We don't want to disenfranchise anybody, nobody. it is often said, or we've said it for years, that every vote must count. So it's not even about 10% or 20% coverage or 30% or even 90% coverage. If one person's vote is not counted, then we're going against the principle of every vote must count. That is what we have been informed today. We've been informed also about the issue of, because I've heard these debates and I wanted an objective view. This is not the same as POS, so the experts said. They also told us that there's only about 49% coverage as of 2018. And like one member was saying, that since 2018, INEC has even increased the number of polling units. So even the percentages might be lower or even higher, than the 49 or 50%. They also informed us, I believe, that there's a possibility of hacking. We do not want to leave our elections to chance. We do not want to leave our elections to the possibility of hacking, as is done in even most advanced democracies. That's number one. I want to use this opportunity also to explain to people out there. A lot of people are conflating and confusing the issue of electronic voting with electronic transmission. From research, electronic voting does not even take place in any European country that I know. Not one. Not in England, not in Germany, not in Spain, not in France, not any country. As a matter of fact, from my understanding, in Germany, they did a referendum on electronic voting and they voted against it. I also understand that there was a country in Europe where they tried electronic voting and then the next election they went back to manual. Switzerland, thank you. They actually went back. So I don't think electronic voting is, at least as of now, part of the discussion. What we're talking about is electronic transmission. And from what we have been told today, we need to do some more work so that everybody's vote will be counted. On the PIB, what this house has once again proven that it is a house of the people, and we're ready to accommodate everybody, to accommodate all interests. And that's why we suspended the laying of the report yesterday, despite the fact that there has been an agreement between the Senate and the House as per our rules. But we did not like the agreement. We were not too happy about the agreement. We wanted everybody to be carried along, and we suspended laying of the report. But unfortunately, Senate had already adopted their report. So there's nothing to go back to go and negotiate with Senate. They're done, and they were done with their work. So we had to abide strictly by our rules, which is for us to lay that report, to lay the conference report, and then the House will vote on whether to adopt it or not. And the House voted to adopt it. That's the procedure. That's the procedure. And that's democracy at work. So I want to once again wish all our colleagues happy recess. Again, let me reiterate the decision of the leadership. That's very important. Let us go for recess, spend time with our families. We're not working. We need that break. For those of you who are workaholics, who still want to continue community work, you are workaholics. You're too passionate about your work. No, you need this break. Go and get yourself checked. Go and get yourself and stay hang out with your wife and family, and for some people with your wives and families and your 27 children. You just hang out with them and enjoy the summer. Sadowna, where is he? He's upstairs.
Before that, Mr. Speaker.
Baba Labe, please spend time with your. Okay, you were given an exception, finance, because of MTEF. But all the same, that shouldn't take you long. Baba Labe. Who else wanted to stay behind to work? Who else somebody wanted to stay behind to work? Honorable Dow, Power. It's okay, Power will take care of itself. By the time we come back, you'll be sorted. Oh, public accounts. Honorable colleagues, public accounts is actually very important, but I would have said maybe you should stay around and take care of, the Auditor General's report. But you work too hard. You are a bulldog. I don't know if you should stay behind. DS leadership. You should go and rest. Everybody says you should go and rest. Blessed, yours is an ad hoc committee. Yours is an ad hoc committee. Take some rest. Anybody else? Any other important committee? Internal security is, because internal security, Honorable Danjuma, by the time we come back in September, certain things have to be put in place. Very, very important. So you and finance have the mandate of the House to continue to work. Yes. The spokesperson of the House, I think you can still be working because you have to continue to speak for the House even during recess. So yeah, you are allowed to work, although I don't know. Chairman, appropriation. I think you can rest too. Oh, with finance? You're supposed to work together. Okay. Is there any other matter before we close?
Yeah, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Step down.
Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I am Abubakar Samfulata. I represent.
We're on live TV.
Mr. Speaker, I'm from Igao State. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I move that the House, I seek the leave of the House to step down all other items from the order paper that have not been considered. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
All right. See you in September. Leader, who's there to adjourn? Seconder, sorry. Chairman, parliamentary. You can, if we say you should not work, that means you can't travel. Your own work is just to travel to other parliaments. So I guess you can continue to work.
My Speaker, thank you very much.
Yeah.
My distinguished colleagues, I am Zakaria Ogaladima. I represent the people of Jakusko from Yobe State, not leader of the House. I'm just standing for the leader of the House today.
Who asked you?
No. I do second the motion as heavily moved by the. Okay, I reverse. Yeah, deputy leader. I do that, deputy leader. Yeah, sorry. I reverse my position. I still remain Zakaria Ogaladima. Yes, I do second the motion heavily moved by my colleague, Chairman House Rules of Business. Thank you. As well, second.
Your Excellency.
Those are the people that will suspend the rest of the other paper, please say aye. Those against you say nay. Ayes have it. Honorable Munir.
Your Excellency, you know we are in the middle of the farming season, and some of the research work, by the time we come back, we can't see it in the field. So I think you should also give us the liberty to go and see what is happening.
Agree. You say you're in the farming season, and therefore this is the time when you have to work.
Some of the research activities would have finished by the time we come back, so there is nothing to report.
Those in favor that agree continue to work, please say aye. Those against, we say nay. The ayes have it. Leader, adjournment. Oh, deputy leader, sorry.
Yes, sir. We are joining till when? When are we returning?
You're right.
I need to hide.
You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
Yes, sir.
Sometime in September, we don't know the date.
I don't know the date.
Yes.
We need to have a date. Mr. Speaker, and my distinguished colleagues, I am Comrade Peter Ohiozoje Akpatasin, MNI. I represent the people of Akoko Edo Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, I move that the House do adjourn to 14th of September this year by 11 o'clock. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Minority Leader. Oh, okay. Aha. we need somebody in the minority to... Okay, second.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I remain Umar Abdulkadir Sarki, member representing the good people of Katagun Federal Constituency under the banner of PRP. I rise to second the motion as moved by the deputy leader. I so second. Thank you, Mr.
Okay, motion to adjourn till September 14th, moved by APC, seconded by PRP. Honorable Wole, can you thwart that adjournment? PDP.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, my colleagues. I remain Oluwole Oke from Ijesha North. I second the motion as moved that this hour adjourned to September 14th, 2021. I so second. Thank you.
You thought. So all parties here are in one accord on adjournment to September 14th. Is there any other party here? Where's Abga? Aha, Labour, yes. Niger State.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable colleagues.
Labour for now.
My name is Honorable Shehu Salih Rijau, representing the good people of Rijau Mogama Federal Constituency. I'm from Niger State under the platform of ABGA. Mr. Speaker, I stand to second the motion. Move my leader, I so second.
Those in support, please say aye. Those against, please say nay. The ayes have it. Leader, we were looking for you earlier. We were looking for you earlier. They said we should go and meet. You should go and meet your wives.